Hello, my name is Christopher Leffoltz, and this is the Development Key Review pre-video recording call. I'll just go over some highlights associated with development in the past 8 weeks related to key metrics. Our first discussion topic is security and reliability, which continues to be a focus of things that we're addressing. InfraDev issues did rise from roughly 3 issues to 6 issues in past due. We since burned that back down to just at 3, and we're continuing to look at the additional 3 to close them out. Past due security issues has been an area where we've been focused, particularly because of some business requirements that we've had recently that have caused us to adjust. We've been treating this more as an SLO, meaning where it's an objective we're trying to achieve, but we don't necessarily set up to guarantee that it happens. Because of some business requirements that have come in, we've switched to SLAs, particularly around scanner reported vulnerabilities. So we're planning to change the past due security issues to better reflect that SLA requirement and how we're doing there. One thing to note is that we are trying scanners on a daily basis. And because of that, we do see high variance in the associated issues that come up in this case. In particular, the week of the 12th of September, we had 200 issues come in associated with that project and effort. As always, MR rate continues to be an area of focus with the development team. We are hiring actively and growing the team. We've passed through 31 starts in Q3 as of today, and we continue to monitor for the rest of the quarter associated with that. That impacts us from a productivity perspective. We also have some other impacts as well in regards to visiting grants and SOC 2 compliance, where we have basically designated segregation of duties now, where we are basically requiring a more detailed reviews, not more detailed reviews, but reviews that require us to guarantee that nobody is self-purging code associated with the code base. There was a decline that I reported roughly 2 months ago when we had our last key review. Since then, we just uncovered a problem in the ETL where we had stopped counting the 20% of MRs roughly per month since May onward, and we fixed that problem. So we were seeing much better results consequently since we addressed those issues as well. And lastly, I just want to point out that we're now looking like we're starting to getting close to the 200 MR per business day mark, and bursting on some days to as high as 400. So it's pretty encouraging. It means that we're really moving at a pretty good clip there. There is a topic around MR rate right now in development. It's been an authorship kind of metric where we kind of focus on what's actually authored by the team. We're going to move to a proposal that basically looks at all MRs divided by the team. This means that the rate will actually be adjusted accordingly, and the target will also be adjusted accordingly as well. This is to give us a better focus on the community, as well as cross-functional contributions, better balance expectations for ICs, particularly around maintainership. So we do expect some other metrics to adjust as well, because they are also being calculated using just looking at authored MRs. And then the second graph there, if you look at that, that's actually the current ratios associated with that. In 2019, it's to note that we did have faster growth in authored MRs versus other MRs in the company and community contributions. That can also cause us to see MR rate fluctuate. If the growth rates are different between those two segments, it can cause different growth adjustments within the overall rate. Hiring continues to also be a focus. We roughly about 91% attainment for the organization. That means that 91% of the seats are currently filled with members, or will be by the end of Q3. We're roughly off by 10 folks for our current goals for starts, 34 as you see it versus our goal of 44. We expect to close probably a few of those, but we're pretty close to closing the window there, since even with a month ago, it's not something where we can necessarily get somebody to start after they've signed. Usually it takes some time. We're looking at ways that we could potentially improve this, and there's a number of options being considered, and I encourage you to review those. In the OKR updates, we are currently pretty strong in increasing ARR. Both of those activities are on track. In maturing the product, maintainership continues to be a strong area, as well as launching the burn and the cross-functional process prioritization model. The areas that we need attention is one is on our DR model. We're currently supporting dedicated for their DR plans and kind of working through the issues associated with that. And we currently have supported them, but we're continuing to focus closely. And the area we're most concerned about is usability. We have 40 S1, S2s, as well as migrations, and migrations have been largely stagnant. So we did have a migration day on Friday. I haven't heard the results of that yet, but that's hopefully going to help move the needle there. And we're focusing on both S1s and S2s and seeing what we can achieve. And then last but not least, we did change the priority order within the product team, which should hopefully encourage more usability concerns to be addressed in the future. And then in great team, we're pretty strong in all areas and on track related to those activities. And you can go click on those links to see how those various results are performing 2/3 of the way through the quarter. Last but not least is our metrics dashboard. This is the areas that we're looking at. As I've noted, I changed past due security issues to attention, mainly because we need to change the metric there. And the development average age of open positions also is at attention. We're not anticipating that this changes very much in Q4, other than if we close some of the longest running open hiring recs. But as it were, we are not opening many recs probably in the next 90 days until we have FY24 plans kind of in place. And consequently, that means that the days that without new hiring recs coming in, it means that the average will stay fairly high and go up on a day-by-day basis. As always, thank you for spending some time here with me, and looking forward to your questions during the key review. Thank you.